Okay, so I hope that you get an opportunity to take away something when we tell you about the history of the knot and the many messages that came along with it. After the knot presentation, we'll move into our ritual ceremony for our father-son Brinner, which is a hand ceremony. And what'll happen is, during that ceremony, we're going to do some things with our hands, have a conversation about the beauty of these things here. Okay? And then after that, we'll close out some remarks, and we'll have some picture taking session. Now, it's important that you get your picture taken, because I want you to make this a part of your family history. The fee that you paid to participate today entitles you to a framed picture. And not just one picture, I believe it may be two. One for the father and one for the son. Situations. But I wanted to make sure that everybody had an opportunity to take that picture. Whether you're the father, grandfather, or father-like, whoever it may be, please take your picture and mark this moment. Without any further ado, Mr. Sensabaugh.
So I'm going to be announcing our speaker tonight, Mr. Gye-Nyame Harris. Mr. Harris has been a mentor, a brother, an advocate throughout my middle school life, high school life, college life, and just been around him and seen the work that he does in the community, being an advocate for fathers. The work he does is powerful. To hold classes, to hold presentations about the importance of fatherhood. So without further ado, Mr. Gye-Nyame Harris.
How's everybody doing today?
Doing good.
Good. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give a round of applause to all the fathers that came out this afternoon. It's real big for our kids, for our children, to have your leadership, to have your guidance, to have your mentorship. So let's give a round of applause to all the fathers. A little bit of what I want to do today is talk about how we as a community of fathers can work so that next year when we come back and have the same event, the room is twice the size. We're going to get those back tables full, get more fathers into this building. I'm going to give you guys some information. We're going to talk about some data, some stats, some research that's been done. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Everybody hear me good? Hear me? All right. We'll talk about some resources that are available in the community, and then we want to actually make sure that we understand and know what the value of fatherhood is. So with that, I'm going to jump into, if any of you have ever seen the television series, everybody seen The Wire on HBO? Anybody ever seen The Wire? Everybody see that? There's a young man from The Wire named Trey Cheney. He actually played Putin in that series. He's a huge fatherhood advocate. I've got a clip from one of his music videos I'm going to share. I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm going to stop it about halfway through. But I want you guys to really listen to the chorus and listen to the hook in this song.
Yeah, father to a father, listen clear. The topic of discussion is sincere. Honestly, the reason why I try to inspire all these fathers, cause they represent a life. I swear I'd rather die than be labeled as the guy. I swear I'd rather die than be labeled as the guy. I swear I'd rather die than be labeled as the guy. I swear I'd rather die than be labeled as the guy. When I was young, my father told me that I would be the man, and never did he lie. I got the world in my hand, and my little man look up to me. He see how I extra grind, children are the future. Believe I'm gonna invest in mine, and never mind what they expect. This world can do what's wrong, so it's time to stand correct. I ain't saying that I'm perfect, but I deserve it. Now every day I'm working, so I never see them hurting. Yes, I'm a rapper, educated author, groundbreaking actor, full-time father. Only thing I wanna do is show them how we ought to move. Sky is the limit, do anything you wanna do, and I put them on this earth. So even though it's tough, I know I gotta make it work. Giving it my all, still try to give more.
I'm going to stop that there, but I encourage you, if you ever get a chance, to go to YouTube, check out that song, Trey Cheney. He's actually got a part 2 to that song. We'll share that a little bit towards the end. One of the biggest things that in that particular song, why I like that piece, is you guys listen to that chorus. He said, "I'd rather die than be labeled as a guy." Anybody catch that piece? We all heard that term, the deadbeat dad, the guy who does not participate in his kid's life. Obviously, there's a lot of work that's being done. We're starting to change a lot of that. We're going to talk about some resources in the community that is changing that perception and the work that's being done to make sure fathers have the opportunity to be the active, engaged fathers they desire to be. Research has been done. What research has proven is that just your very presence can change the lives that our children will have. For just being present, your child is less likely to drop out of school, be involved with the authorities, suffer from mental illness, become substance abuse, can be consigned to a life of poverty, will pray host to a whole host of social maladies. Just your presence alone will help steer him away from a lot of these issues. Back in, it was 2010, there was a state survey done amongst all the death row inmates in the state of Ohio. One of the questions on that survey was, what type of relationship do you have with your father? Good, none, or bad? 90% of the men on death row answered that question by saying they had no relationship or a bad relationship with their father. 90% of the men on death row. All right? National percentage of children living apart from their biological father. In the African American community, that number is 66%, and Hispanic community is 35%, and the Caucasian community is 27%. I'll never allow this to be labeled as an African American issue. It's not an urban issue. It's countrywide. In fact, we have a president right now, Barack Obama, who was raised without his father in his household. Okay? Can somebody tell me what fatherhood is? Can somebody define it for me? What does it mean to be a father? Go ahead. He said to be there to come. Somebody back here had an answer to that? Somebody else will define fatherhood. Tell me what it is. Time. Absolutely. Time spent. And you had something you want to add?
I say to be a leader, to guide, to show direction, and to provide and support.
All of you are right. I like that key piece you said, is to provide direction. Our young people are looking for direction. And if we as men, as we as fathers don't provide that direction, they'll go find it. Whether it's outside your front door, down the street, from the wrong people, we don't know. But we've got to be there to give that support. I'm going to share a quick clip for you, and they're going to try to help define fatherhood for you.
Father means a protector of his family, provider, and gives lots of love and wisdom and knowledge, especially about God. That's what a father means to me. When I brought my daughter home, I remember thinking 2 of us left, 3 of us are coming back.
If you don't have a father figure in your life, it's definitely going to be difficult.
One of my closest friends has made the decision to keep her daughter away from her father. I'm always encouraging her to rethink that decision, because while she thinks that she's doing something detrimental for the father, really the only person that's being hurt in the situation is her daughter.
No matter how bad the woman is, if you leave your child, there's something wrong with you. In our communities, black communities, the incarceration rate is really high. You know, I'm 38 years old and I managed not to ever be arrested. And I'm still that in him. Like, don't become accustomed to thinking that it's part of our manhood to be harassed by police, to get arrested, to go into a liquor store, to test drugs. We don't follow that norm at all. It's my son, you know, he got cancer at 14 years old, like, it was just, I didn't know what to do.
How do you learn how to deal with men if you never had a man in your life to learn what a man is supposed to be like towards you, how he's supposed to treat you?
I guess if it was reasonable, he'd do anything for us.
I'm kiss with me.
A grenade would bite you.
You know what I'm saying? That's when I knew that the time has come. She's definitely a teenager now, you know, and these are the days she's going to be dating guys, and I mean, I guess the best thing you could do in that situation is find out who this kid is.
I give them things if they earn it, but I just wasn't giving things, because nothing's worse than raising a spoiled brat, because I know a lot of guys who I come up with who were given this, that, and the other, and you look at them now, it's like they don't even know how to succeed in life because they was handed things so much.
I think that it can be summed up with a good father is one that is there and is one that cares. He's there and he cares. Because if he cares, he's going to want to do the things to become a better father. He's going to want to be engaged. He's going to want to take constructive criticism. He's going to look at his weaknesses and try to make them strengths, because he's there and he cares. He's going to do all that he needs to do to really try to bring out the best in his role as a father and to be active and to be engaged. And so
I think Kirk Franklin hit it on the head at the very end there. He said it's to be active, to be
that's what I would say.
and to be engaged. It's all about the presence you spend. In fact, there's a song back in the day, there was a hip-hop song called Be a Father to Your Child. And there was a line in that song that says, it's not your presence, but your presence that really matters. When he's doing his play of words, presence meaning gifts, and presence meaning the actual part of being there around the child. I've had the pleasure of working with not only children's services, child support, the courts, and do some programming in the community. And one of the things that I found is unfortunately we work within a system that is not very conducive or supportive to fatherhood. So we have to overcome those things. And at the very end, I'm going to share these resources. Make sure you share these resources with your cousins, your friends, your nephews, so that they're able to take advantage of this. This is actually on our law books in the state of Ohio. This is Ohio Revised Code 3109.042. Would you mind reading that first line for me out loud, really quick? You right there. Yep.
An unmarried female who gives birth to a child is the sole residential parent and legal custodian of the child until the court of competent jurisdiction issues an order designating another person as the resident parent and legal custodian.
Stop right there. Somebody tell me, what did it say about that?
Absolutely nada.
Absolutely nothing. This is what we have to fight against as a community of fathers. We have to get our rights. We have to step in and fight to be a presence in our lives, to be active and present in life. This is what the law books say. So this is the culture and the system that we have to work within. As we talk about fatherhood, one question I like to ask, is there really a difference between motherly and fatherly love, or are we talking about the same thing? Is there a difference? Can somebody tell me what that difference is? Go ahead. Okay, absolutely. I heard that. Absolutely. I agree with that. Yes, sir.
Your father is more rough than mom.
Dad is more rough than mom? More, he's a disciplinarian. Absolutely. Exactly. Absolutely. True. Anybody else want to add anything to that? That is more of the guidance. Absolutely. Let me give you some examples and try to illustrate to you some of the differences between motherhood and fatherhood. Say, for example, you've got a young person, 3, 4, 5 years old, in the backseat of the car and he's trying to get his seatbelt on. But he can't really figure it out, can't really get to do it, can't get it to snap. Any ladies in the room? Where the ladies at? Ladies, if you see that young person in the backseat of the car struggling, they can't get that seatbelt on, what are you guys going to do? Reach back, help them out, right? Yeah. Okay. Fellas, we got 3 brothers in the room, right?
Word.
Your kid's 3, 5 years old. His backseat struggling to get that seatbelt on. What you guys gonna do?
Boy, we got that seatbelt on. Push hard.
We gonna coach him, right? We gonna teach him how to do it, right? Big difference. Mama just gonna turn around. Here you go, son. Father, we gonna teach him. We gonna show him and make sure they figure out how to do that, right?
Word.
Give you another example. You got a young person, same young person. You're at the park. That young person is on the swing, going further, higher and higher. Ladies, what you gonna say? Stop. Be careful. Don't fall. Don't get hurt, right? Fellas, you see your young person on that swing. He's going back and forth, going higher, faster and faster. What y'all gonna say? Jump! Right?
Hold on.
Be brave, man.
But totally different style, right? Mom, here's the big difference between moms and dads. Moms want to protect their child from anything in the world that's going to hurt. I'm going to protect my baby, make sure my baby don't get hurt. Dad, we're going to make sure our child is prepared for anything out there in that world. See the difference?
Yeah.
Mom wants to protect them from anything that can hurt them. Dad, we want to prepare them, get them ready. That's the difference. It's important that our young people have that balance, because if you don't have that balance, say all you get is that motherly love, mom just going to turn around and snap that belt up before you. You might have heard that term, mama boy? That's where a lot of that stuff comes from. We got to have that balance, all right? I want to do some reflections really quick and talk about some examples of fatherhood we had growing up. I see we got some seasoned folks in the room. You guys remember Good Times?
Word.
Father on Good Times. What was his name?
Michael Adams.
Michael Adams. Absolutely. What type of dad was he?
You talking about his dad? His dad's name was James.
James. That's that. What kind of father was James? Strong, disciplined. Anybody else need to add to that?
Me.
Check out this scene here of fatherhood by Mr. Evans.
Go ahead with the stack of papers and write. Michael, baby, you could have really been hurt. Well, now calm down, baby. It's all over. Yeah, for now. We gonna get back at those dudes.
No, you ain't getting back at nobody.
Daddy, what kind of club will we be if we let everybody push us around? That's what we stand for. Black pride. If you come down on the guy wearing one of these jackets, you coming down on all of us.
Well, now, wait a minute, mister. You just back up. The only reason I let you join this club is because you said it stood for self-pride and awareness. But if your club is talking about revenge, it ain't become nothing but a gang, and you just quit.
Hey, Daddy, you can't take my jacket from me.
Looks to me like I just did. You want to discuss it?
No. What about black pride?
What about it? You don't need no gang for that. You black, just be proud.
But that's kind of what we lost. Back in the 70s and the 80s, that's the father we had that was going to jump in, take charge, and steer his child in the right direction. To now, we're going to skip forward ahead a generation and look at a popular series from the 90s and look at the difference, how it changed.
I wouldn't pick that. No, great minds think alike.
Well, I apologize. That was acting like it's not going to play. But the episode I was going to show, if anybody remembers, it was an episode where Phil's dad comes to town, pumps his head up, he's going to do this, that, and that with him, and the next day he ups and disappears again. He was right. And Uncle Phil had to step in, kind of be his little bit of support. I want to feature 3 key movies that, as we continue ahead to the 90s, that were very, very prevalent. What I'm going to challenge each and every father here today is to go back, watch these 3 films, but watch them through the lens of a father. It's been almost 20 years since these films were released, and I'm sure you'll have a different perspective today as a father versus what you did 20 years ago. The first film, anybody remember this film here? Boys in the Hood?
Boys in the Hood.
Let me ask you a question. How many dads was in Boys in the Hood?
One
dad. There was one kid when after Ricky got killed, they're all in the car getting ready to go retaliate against those who killed Ricky. There was one child who got the car. Who got the car?
The one with the dad.
The one with the dad. He got up because of that guy, because of that leadership. Take a listen to this conversation. This is towards the beginning of the film between Furious Styles and his child.
What was his name?
So tell me, you a leader or a follower?
I'm a leader.
Okay then. What's the 3 rules? Break it down for me. And hey, think before you answer.
I got it. Always look a person in the eye. Do that to respect you better. 2 was to never be afraid to ask you for anything. Stealing isn't necessary. And the last one I think was to never respect anybody who doesn't respect you better. That right?
Yeah, you got it.
So let me ask this question. Is he investing the time? He's investing the time. He's having those conversations. As this scene continues, they have a quick conversation about sex. They have a quick conversation about the kids he's hanging around with in the neighborhood. But those are the type of conversations we have to continuously have with our young people to know what their influences are. Okay? Second film, you guys might remember this one. Men's in Society. How many dads was in Men's in Society?
I don't think it was
Sharif's dad. Sharif's dad. Remember Rock? Remember Rock?
Yeah.
So Rock was the one that would sit him down in the classroom, had the conversations with him. Y'all remember that? He was the one who had the influence and had the opportunities that the other kids didn't. Okay? I'm going to skip to one more film. This is a very popular kid. Should even remember this one. You guys remember Friday? How many days was in Friday?
One.
It was one day, right? Tell me if you guys remember this scene right here. Well, I apologize again. Looks like that one isn't going to play again for it. But I think somebody up here said it. There's a scene where he's a Gary go fight Debo, goes to the room, he grabs a defense weapon, and Dad takes it from him and says, you know what, you fight with these so you can live and fight another day. Again, that guidance, the teaching from being a dad. Last thing I kind of want to leave you with as we talk about what the values are, what the opportunities are. I gave you some good illustrations of what fatherhood looks like. Give you guys 4 quick keys to success. The very first key, choices. Somebody tell me why choices are important for our young people? What? Wrong choice, you have a whole lot of consequences, right?
Word.
We have to teach our young people the value of making good choices. Somebody else got a hand up here. Somebody got a hand up here. My choices. Good. Absolutely. It's all about making good choices. Second piece is experiences. Make sure our young people have all the experiences we could possibly provide to them. If there's an opportunity to go visit Aunt Vicky in Georgia, take your young person down to Georgia to go meet Aunt Vicky. Let him see how big this world is. You'd be surprised how many young people don't get opportunity to explore too much outside their boundaries. We have to take our young people and get them to explore and get these experiences. Education and information. I add those two together because education is in the classroom. There's a lot you're not going to learn inside the classroom, and that's where we come in. We got to make sure our young people have information. Yes, sir. No, go ahead. Speak up. Absolutely. Information will help you prepare to make choices, right? When those situations come up, when you got some bad influences around you that comes to, well, do I keep hanging with this crowd or do I go this way? That information will help you make the right choice. The last piece of this is relationships and networks. I tell you right now, most of the jobs I've got in my life have been with people I know.
Word.
Building your relationships and building your network starts right now. Because believe me, young man, if this young person right here sees you every day, if you're the class clown, always playing around, 20 years from now, he could be a CEO. And the minute you go apply at his company, he's going to be like, oh, now I remember you. Reputation will precede itself. Okay? Make sure you guys build good relationships, build your networks. Last piece I'm going to leave you guys with. I came across an article a few months ago. You guys recognize Arian Foster, NFL player, just played for Houston, Texas? He was writing a piece about fatherhood. He's a really good speaker, and he came up with this. I like the way he put it together. 5 things he wants to teach his children. Number 1 is happiness. Let's teach our young people what it means to be happy, what it means to have a smile on your face, what it means to have that positive spirit and positive attitude. Second one is the value of money. Making sure they understand nothing in life comes for free. We got to work hard to get the things that we want. Next one is define your purpose. Everybody in life has that purpose. And there's nothing like waking up knowing that you're actually doing the things you're supposed to be doing in life. There's nothing like it. There's no coin that can be placed on that. Kindness and integrity. This is a huge one for me. In fact, I have a little thing with my children that every single day they have to tell me what random act of kindness they do today. Whether it's opening the door for somebody, carrying a grocery bag for somebody, what are you doing to share that kindness and to share that love in the world? Know their value. Whether they're a son or a daughter, they're a king and a queen. and make sure they know that they're to be respected as such, not to settle for anything less. Our children watch our relationships, and they will become what they see. So make sure that we're very mindful of the relationships that we keep around our children. The last one, he calls it the flying spaghetti monster, but even in the clip that we talked about where it showed fatherhood, he really talked about what it meant to be spiritual. And that's what that flying spaghetti, whatever your faith is, whatever your religion is, we have to teach our children spirituality. And make sure through every religion you practice that we do that. With that being said, I'm going to leave you guys with one more piece with Trey Chaney. I'm going to stop there after the video goes off. I'm going to put some resources up on the board. There's a program that I started 2 years back at the Columbus Urban League called Father to Father. There's a program that I started at Action for Children called Father Factor. These programs will help you with child support, if you got court issues, even if you just need a job. Pick up the phone, call these resources, and make sure that you, yourself, your friends, your family takes advantage of the resources that are available. That's all I have. I'll be here for the rest of the night, so if you have any questions for me, feel free to stop me, talk to me, and we'll check out this last piece. And as you look at this, one of the things that I really like, pay attention to the generational piece. He's got his child, he's got his father, and he's got his grandfather. That's 4 generations of knowledge at his assets.
I thank God for the position, it's a true honor. Looking at my son in his eyes, I remember when he first told me give him a high five. I was only 2 years old, now he's 7. Oh Lord, I must be getting old. Time flies when you busy on your grind as a man supporting your family all the time. Remember when we did the first video? Fatherhood was a masterpiece, truly dope. It gave hope to the fathers all around the globe. 106 and Park was a huge platform.
Where did the motivation come from?
Motivating fathers all over the place. 15 year fatherhood celebrate. Motivating fathers all over the place. 15 year fatherhood celebrate. Dedicate, celebrate, fatherhood celebrate. All the real men fathers can only relate. Let each and every day on your grind, provide for your family at the drop of a dime. Salute to my fellas who know better. We can make it through the storm no matter the weather. Take a second, think about it like this. Being there for your kid really makes a kid clear. Thinking back when I first met your mother, you was 8 years old, just a little munchkin. We used to have conversations about reality. You told me you ain't really know your real daddy. You might have seen him like 4 or 5 times. I could tell you was hurt from the tears in your eyes. I'm thinking, how could a man leave a little girl? And I started reflecting, we living in a crazy world. I don't care what you and the mother went through. Bottom line, step up, your kid needs you. I couldn't sit back and dwell upon the negative, so I had to make the situation turn positive. As I took your mother's hand in marriage, I made a vow to you. Don't ever call me a stepdad.
Alright, let's give Brother Dan a round of applause, gentlemen. You can leave that plugged up and then switch this part.
All right, so next up, we have Mr. Brinner.
Oh, you can just, that's what you meant, can you,
I don't know if you have the opportunity to observe, at Millennium Community School on a daily basis, we require our men to wear ties. And it's all of the things that we talked about. And so I'm going to let Mr. Brown bring a little more significance around why we wear the tie and what we're going to accomplish. What we accomplish.
So, one of the major pieces that we wanted to bring across was the fact that ties are a little bit more important than we think. Because we think that it's just about business, right? Businessmen wear ties. But when we look into the history of ties, we start finding that it wasn't businessmen that started wearing ties. It was warriors. What is a warrior? Warrior is one who is experienced or involved in conflict. Right? So, those individuals who first dealt with one of the major conflicts in human in human history, far as war, were the first individuals to wear ties. It was natural problem solvers. Why would they wear ties? They wore ties because the tie was a part of their uniform, and as well, it protected their necks. Now, for those that have studied history, you find that a lot of warriors used to wear a lot of silk. Anybody know why warriors used to wear a lot of silk? Huh? Because silk is soft, right? Silk is what? He said not just for a tie, they used to have silk undershirts. Anybody know why?
Because silk is the strongest thing in the world if it has enough.
Silk is strong, but it's real soft. But what happens with silk is, for example, capoeira, they used to teach us that when we were supposed to go in a holder, we were supposed to wear a scarf of silk around our neck. Because if you take a razor, because in capoeira, one of the major weapons is a razor. So you could be playing and somebody don't like you, they'll pull out a razor, they'll try to slit your throat. But if you have on a piece of silk around your neck, a razor won't cut through the throat. They used to wear silk undershirts. Because with the silk up under here, when an arrow came and if it hit you, the arrow would not penetrate the silk. It would just go in and the silk would still maintain its integrity so you could pull it out without destroying yourself. So when we're talking about ties, we're talking about something deeper than just business. All right, and the first part we want to get to is I want y'all to understand the knot. There we go. Knots from ancient times. Knots have been used all over the world. So all ties have knots. Knots have been used all over the world and have been an important part of human history. In fact, knot tying was one of the first technologies that human beings created. Knots have been used to bind materials like cloth and rope to assist men in their endeavors. So learning how to tie a knot was a very technical thing. When you look at some of the knots that some of our ancestors used, and certain knots would identify you to people that belong to the same trade as you. Sailors have certain knots. Carpenters used to use certain knots. And by you mastering a knot, you show that you have mastered that level of skill. So in a sense, you belong to a society. Right?
Yes.
Here goes some basic knots. Look real easy, right? But the whole object of a knot is not to tie like some of y'all tie your shoes where you can't, you got to almost cut the string. The object of tying a knot is to bind something, but be able to come back and take it apart without having to cut it. So it takes a certain level of mastery. Let's look at some of the intricate knots. This right here is a knot that was tied, but it also represents a deep spiritual idea. So we started looking at knots not only as something that helped us with physical work, it helped us with our spiritual development. This knot right here constantly it shows how life intertwines. It's a spiritual symbol for that. Let's keep it moving. Look at these knots. Can anybody get tired of those? We are supposedly at the most advanced level of humanity. Can somebody we should try to tie that knot right there. You see what I'm saying? Look at the intricacies of these knots. And you have individuals that can tie these knots. And this will show a certain level of mastery. Ties from ancient times. So let's get back to the ties. Ties. They were first worn by the warriors, I told you before. As you see, these are terracotta soldiers. And it was like 10,000 of them buried with a Chinese emperor. Go ahead. That was a silk. But the beautiful thing about these ones is that he had each one of these terracotta warriors made individually. So if you look at all of them, all their ties are different. His tie stands out. This guy's tie really don't stand out. All the ties and all the faces are different. But the ties are still there for the same reason, for protection. It's a part of your uniform, just like belts. A lot of us don't understand that belts are deeper than just holding up our pants. I mean, we are advanced enough. Y'all ain't never realized that we are advanced enough to make pants that you don't need a belt to hold up. Right? So the belt is something from ancient tradition. It's a tool of a warrior, but we're going to keep it moving. All right. Now, the Croatians were the first ones to bring it into Europe. When France was having a revolution, I think it was Louis the 14th, he brought in the creations to cause war. I mean, he brought in the mercenaries for his war. And what happened was they came and they had this pretty little cloth around their neck. They didn't really understand it. That's when the businessmen and the emperors and the royalty started really getting into ties, because when these mercenaries came into France, they had never saw it. So France took it, and instead of using it for what it was originally used for, it became something of style. So, modern knots on ties. We got the Windsor knot. We got the half Windsor knot. We got the Pratt knot, which is the knot I'm going to teach y'all. Then we got the four-in-hand knot. Then you got all these knots. There's over 2,000 knots that you can tie on your tie. Now, I ain't quite got them all. But those that see me at work, I'll be switching them up, right? You know what I'm saying? Because the whole piece is the knots are a form of meditation. The knots are a form of me showing that I'm trying to reach some form of mastery. Now, this is what I have developed this year. Last year I came with the Pratt knot, right? For those who are interested, I have developed a knot specifically for Millennium Community School. So, we have our own knot for those that really want it based on the Pratt knot. I've been looking around, I ain't seen nobody else tying like this. So now, this is the goal. Because back in the day, I would be able to know who you belong to, who you learn from by how you tied your knots. What we have hope for at Millennium Community School, because I want you to understand, you got a lot of people running around the country talking about building a black school. We actually have a black school. Right? Now, the thing we want now is to start developing leaders. I want us, from this room, I want us to start motivating our young men to start moving into positions of leadership. Whether it's through politics or whether it's through economics or whatever. We need to start pushing our sons. And the reason I'm sharing the knot and saying I got their own knot, because one day I want them to get a signal on TV. They were sitting here and they saw Brother Hakim teach them how to tie this knot. And because they saw this knot, one day they're going to be sitting watching on TV, and they're going to see one of our kids running for an important office in the city of Columbus with our knot on it. And that's a signal to all of us that we're moving up, because the only way we can grow is as a group. So, y'all ready to learn how to tie before we go into the ceremony? Mm-hmm. All right, so we're going to need to pass our ties. I hope we got enough. But then now we're going to learn is the prep. For those that want to learn the other part of the knot, y'all talk to me later. I'll be back in the back. But that's it.
We're going to start by So what we're going to do is start by making sure that each of the young people get a tie. Okay? And probably what you'll do is you will assist the students with tying their tie. There's a nice royal purple tie too.
Alright, so now, once everybody got their tie on, we got the final part of the ceremony. So if you would, everybody get to your tables.
Alright, so the way we're going to do this is we have some water bins. So we're going to need people on each side of the water bins. So if you're at a table on one half, basically everybody gather around the water bins. Grab a spoon off the table. We're going to use both ends of the spoons. So just be mindful of that. We're only going to need to, everybody should gather around the water bin, and you should have 4 elements on the table in front of you.
All right.
So fathers, if you could.
So they all have these. Okay. So here.
Are they all in the same order?
Yeah. I don't know if they're all in the same order, so let's put them in order you want to go.
All right. So on the far right, I need the vinegar. Then followed by the honey. Then the pepper, and then last the salt.
Fathers, get one too. Get one too.
Yep, everybody. Let's go.
Does everyone have a spoon? All right, so if everyone would take and dip your spoon into the vinegar first. Don't take a whole lot, but a little bit.
In the spoon.
In the spoon.
So you can partake.
And you're gonna take and you're gonna put it into your mouth.
That's it. All right. Everybody, let me know when everybody's ready with a thumbs up. Thumbs up.
If everybody has it,
let's go.
Go ahead and swallow it. How does it taste? Tastes horrible.
Bitter.
Sour. So as fathers, listen. So as fathers
and your men,
young men and ourselves, this vinegar reminds us of the times in life when things can be sour. Now I need for everyone to take the bottom end of the spoon and dip it into the honey. After you dipped it in, taste it. How does it taste? Sweet. So the honey represents the sweetness of life. Those sweet times, those times when we have our successes, when we celebrate.
Take the pepper up and take a picture, scratch it.
Hey, I need everybody in a prayer mind state. This is a ritual. I want you to get the lesson. We can conversate about the taste and whether it's good or bad later. I want you to feel this.
All right. So next for the pepper, I need everybody to take a pinch in your finger and drop it in, sprinkle it on your tongue. So it doesn't have to be a whole lot. The pepper represents some of the spice in life. Sometimes things get a little hot and it doesn't taste so good. But as men, these are some of the things that we learn to deal with. And last but not least, take a pinch of the salt. Sprinkle it on your tongue. Salt in ancient times was used to preserve and to keep things. So the relationships that we build with each other as men in the community, that we build with our sons, and with those sons that are not biologically ours that we meet. That we meet just walking in our neighborhoods. Some of those young people that don't have those relationships, and we are the examples for them. So that salt is the way that we preserve our tradition and we pass on our heritage to our children that are coming behind. So last but not least, I need everyone to dip both of their hands into the bin of water. Just wet them. Just wet them and pull them back out.
Pull them out and hold them up and look at them.
Hold them. After you put them in, take them out, hold them up and look at your hands.
Like this. Seriousness.
As you're looking at your hands. Repeat after me. With these hands.
With these hands.
I I will not harm anyone.
I will not harm anyone.
With these hands.
With these hands.
I will not steal.
I will not steal.
With these hands.
With these hands.
I will protect.
I will protect.
My loved ones.
My loved ones.
My community.
My community.
My nation.
My nation.
With these hands.
With these hands.
I will build up.
I will build up.
My brothers.
My brothers.
My sisters.
My sisters.
My mother.
My mothers.
My father.
My fathers.
With these hands.
With these hands.
I will love.
I will love.
With these hands.
With these hands.
I will love.
I will love.
With these hands.
With these hands.
I will love.
I will love.
I say.
I say.
All right, let's give Brother Shaw a round of applause for leading us in ritual around the elements. All right. So, I want to say again in closing, thank you all for coming out and participating in Millennium Community Schools' second annual Father-Son Brinner. If you have a Facebook account, if you have a Twitter account, make sure you tweet where you are at tonight. Make sure you post your pictures on Facebook and other places, your social media, so people will know that you were involved in something wonderful tonight. Please do not hesitate to make a line over here with your students or your children to take the picture. Oh, if you did not get a tie, I would like for you to see Mrs. Martin here, which is located right here in the middle of the room here. She'll get your name, and as when the ties come in, we will make sure that you get them.
One more thing.
Yes.
For those that don't know, we have this thing called the Millennium Center. And the thing for all of the future, this one and all the future Millennium Brinner events is one of the principles. I don't remember which one is purple. Miss Harrison, which one are we? We got the purple tie for? Self-determination.
Self-determination. Also, Mr. Shaw, who is our media specialist and local librarian, fathers, if you wish to participate in our book fair, he's going to return back to our library, and the book fair will be open if you choose to purchase your son a gift this evening. All right, let's get some music going.